Hey y'all, today is the second day of our trip across Georgia looking for roadside attractions. This morning, very rainy morning, I find myself in the middle of a cemetery in downtown Cheraw, Georgia. And I stopped here first because one, it was close to where I was staying. Two, it's just something really weird and strange here. And I'm going to share that with you. But right after this station identification. This is the resting place of Dent Myers. He was a proprietor of a surplus store. In fact, the name of his business was Wild Man's Civil War Supplies in downtown Cheraw. He was convinced that the world would end in late 2012, so he had this 15-foot tall monolith erected in the local cemetery with his name on it. Now, he was a Civil War reenactor. This is Wild Man Dent Myers establishment in downtown Cheraw. Lieutenant General Dent said that a psychic told him that he was the reincarnation of Stonewall Jackson. Now, there was a lot of discussion about when he put this thing here and what he believed. He wanted the monument to be taller than any other monument in the cemetery, and indeed it is. He also wanted it on Pauper's Road, and as you can see, the road it is on, there are no other graves that's got headstones. Grave there that doesn't have a headstone on it. And he even has his death mask. And here is a slab of wood that someone has made a headstone out of. Dent Wild Man Myers, 1931 to 2022. Forever in the hearts of Dixie. Well, is it a roadside attraction? Maybe not, but it's worth stopping for. So let's crawl back in the truck and see if we can find some more. I am in downtown Cartersville, Georgia. You see, this is a pretty cool town. A lot of it's an old town. Most all of these buildings have businesses in them, which is a lot that you don't see in towns across this country. Everything seems to be moving to the outskirts, but this particular town seems to be very vibrant. A lot of arts and all. But a big truck. But something brought me to this town. And there she is. They say this is the world's first Coca-Cola sign painted on the side of a building. Of course, you know, over in Atlanta, they have the World of Coke. This sign has been painted on for many years. In fact, they say there's 25 layers of paint there. It was first painted in 1881. And it is on the side of the Young Brothers Pharmacy, and I believe there is some Coke memorabilia inside, and we're gonna see if we can take a look. Now, I know there are folks that collect Coca-Cola items or memorabilia, and there's a lot in here. I'm gonna have to get me a little bottle of Coke while I'm at it. Look at this old Coke box. Well, I have purchased me a Coke, and I am going to open it. I have made my purchase, and I'm going to enjoy me a nice, crisp, refreshing oh yeah. Here in Cartersville, there is a unique monument. There are monuments to recognize the dead, monuments for all sorts of things, but this is called the Friendship Monument. This monument was erected by a debtor in honor of his creditors. Losses during the panic of the 1857 forced Mark A. Cooper, proprietor of the Etowah Ironworks, to offer this property for sale to satisfy a $100,000 debt. 38 friends signed notes totaling that amount to save the enterprise. When the debt was repaid in 1860, Cooper erected this monument on which the names of his benefactors are inscribed. Well, I am going to finish my Coke. Boy, it feels good going down. But I'm gonna head out on the highway looking for adventure.
Administration did. They stopped new drilling for gas and oil on federal lands. It's amazing.
All these little pigs have signs, but up on the side of the hill, those signs are all staked in the ground, and they outline a giant pig. Can you see it? There's his tail, little short twisty tail, and his legs, and his snout is down there, and then his ear. How about that? And there is a smaller version of it, so you can kind of figure it out up at the very top. Moby. Pig Hill of Fame. Pig Moby. That is a pig mobile. Are you amazed yet? But I'll tell you, this place has got me hankering for some barbecue, and they're closed. I am in Epworth, Georgia, and this roadside attraction is pretty interesting. It's called the Spring of Faith. During a camp meeting in the 1800s, a spring was a source of water for campers and their horses and cows. The spring was on private property, and the owner built a fence around it, leaving the campers without water. The people prayed that the water would be supplied that night. And the people prayed that water would be surprised. And that night there was a terrible storm. The spring moved from the private property outside of the fence to the church property. And this spring is to never be sold, but it was to remain as it was given property of the Epworth United Methodist Church. You can see the spring water bubbling up from the ground. There's where it's released. Little steps it goes down as a pool. But since this is a Methodist church and they don't dunk, if they were Baptists, they could cover that hole up and fill this full of water and have a baptismal pool. Would you guess that the unbeliever or the man that put a fence around the spring to keep the people that was gathered for the church function getting water? And do you think that after the water rose from the ground on the other side of the fence, do you think perhaps he changed his ways? I don't know. What do you think? I am in Blairsville, Georgia, and you would be shocked at the folks that live here that do not have a clue where this place is. I have literally been looking for 2 hours just to find this little fairy village. And this thing is perched up on the side of a hill next to a very busy highway. But all the cars are so busy zipping up and down the highway, and this is up in the woods, just a little piece, or up on a hill, and people don't even take the time to look. This is like a giant birdhouse, and you enter it from a trap door up in the bottom. Oh wow. I think this is a pretty cool roadside attraction. Now if a hobbit jumps out, I'm going to wet myself. Who said anything about a hobbit? I believe this used to be a nursery where they had plants and flowers. I think that one down there used to sit on top of this tree. Oh, I love it. Here's something that I just ran across. That is the Appalachian Trail.
The Appalachian Trail goes from Georgia to Maine. A footpath, a footpath for those who seek fellowship with the wilderness. This is not necessarily a roadside attraction because it's in the middle of the road. Outside of Dahlonega, Georgia, intersection Highway 60, Highway 19 and 9, there is a pile of stones. People ride by here all the time, and all they see is a pile of stones. There used to be a roadside marker telling what it is, but that's gone now. But this is the grave of an Indian princess. According to legend, Tralata, could be Tra, I guess it's T-R-A-H, Tralata. According to legend, Tralata's tribe, living on Cedar Mountain north of here, knew the secret of the magic spring of eternal youth from the witch of Cedar Mountain. Tralata, kidnapped by a rejected suitor, Wasika, was taken far away and lost her beauty. As she was dying, Wasika promised to bury her near her home in the magic springs. Custom arose among the Indians and later the whites to drop stones, one for each passerby, on her grave for good fortune. The magic springs, now known as Porter Springs, 3/4 of a mile northeast of here. So for ages, people passing by have left stones on her grave, and some of them quite elaborate, or they've stacked them up. Some are painted. One from Michigan. Here's my stone. Hey, who knows? What could it hurt? Well, the sun is going down behind the mountains. There's a little more daylight, and this is my second day of filming roadside attractions, and I have a little more to do, so I need to crawl back in the truck and get out on the highway. My last day of the Georgia roadside attraction road trip, and I am ending it here in Helen, Georgia. Helen, Georgia is a beautiful little Swiss Alpine type town up in the mountains of Georgia. It's beautiful any time of year. I get all the way home from Georgia and upload all my videos into the computer, and then I say, wait a minute, I don't have an ending. How about that? It happens. Well, this is the ending of our second day on our Georgia road trip. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give me a big old thumbs up. Be sure to share this video with your family and friends. And until next time, y'all have a good day.